Most of what we know about sleep has only been discovered in the last 25 years, but it's fair to say we've made up for it. Scientists and researchers all over the globe are learning more and more about sleep every day. We've put together a list of 10 of the most interesting and surprising facts about sleep that you may not know. Number 10. You can't catch up on sleep. Sleep is a restorative activity. While you sleep, your brain is cataloging information and healing your body. It decides what's important to hold onto, and what can be let go. Your brain creates new pathways that help you navigate the day ahead. Sleeping also heals and repairs your blood vessels and heart. Chronically losing sleep has the potential to cause many health problems. It can put you at an increased risk for diabetes, a weakened immune system, and high blood pressure. You might also have higher levels of cortisol, a stress hormone. This can lead to anger, depression, and even suicidal thoughts. In addition, drowsiness increases your risk of falling asleep behind the wheel and getting into an accident. Think you can sleep 10 hours one night to catch up for a few nights of less than the recommended 7 to 9 hours of sleep? Think again. A Harvard study showed that sleeping extra to compensate for sleep times decreased reaction times and the ability to focus. That means practice good sleep hygiene as best you can to show up as your best self every day. Number 9. Post-lunch sleepiness is real. Ever feel like you could take a quick snooze in the middle of the day after a filling lunch? Consider it the post-lunch dip. Our bodies naturally feel a dip in alertness at 2 p.m. and 2 a.m. unless you're able to sleep in to get a full night's sleep of 7 to 9 hours. Don't wait until 2 a.m. to let your body tell you it's tired. That's why good sleep hygiene is important to help you get a good night's rest every night. There are certain foods and drinks that can make you sleepy, or at least reduce alertness. Some of these include kiwi, tart cherries, or sour cherries, malted milk, fatty fish like salmon, walnuts, rice, and certain varieties of red grapes. In multiple studies, eating a moderate amount of these foods show a link to better sleep. Foods that are rich with carbohydrates are also known to induce fatigue. Number 8. Sleep struggles are not just a human problem. Sleep disorders are common in humans, but many scientists wonder whether these same problems can occur in animals as well. There is some research to suggest that the answer is yes. Animals are in many ways very much like human children. There's evidence that pets, and even insects, can experience insomnia. They tend to gain more fat, learn more slowly, and lose their balance, all similar to the effects humans can suffer when they're sleep deprived. It is also of interest to professionals that domestic animals have problems in sleep similar to parasomnias in children, such as bedwetting, screaming, etc. Another important factor is that domestic animals, if they do not move a lot, can develop dissociative conditions similar to children's daydreaming. Domestic animals, such as horses, stay awake for approximately 85% of the night if they are kept in a stable. This means that they suffer from severe insomnia and a strong drowsiness during the daytime. They also have symptoms such as sleepwalking, and night terror. Number 7. There are many sleep-specific words you've probably never heard. Humans may suffer from various sleep disorders, including dysomnias such as insomnia, hypersomnia, narcolepsy, and sleep apnea. Parasomnias such as sleepwalking and rapid eye movement sleep behavior disorder, bruxism, and circadian rhythm sleep disorders. Somnophobia is the fear of falling asleep. Onirophobia is the fear of nightmares or dreams. Clinomania is the irresistible urge to stay cozy in bed all day, while dysania is the word for that feeling when you've just woken up and really don't want to get out of bed. Number 6. The record for the longest period without sleep is 11 days. This was set by a Californian student named Randy Gardner in 1964. This is definitely not recommended, however, as Randy experienced extreme sleep deprivation and others have died staying awake for too long. Insomnia can occur independently or as a result of another problem. Conditions that can result in insomnia include psychological stress, chronic pain, heart failure, hyperthyroidism, heartburn, restless leg syndrome, menopause, certain medications, and drugs such as caffeine, nicotine, and alcohol. Other risk factors include working night shifts and sleep apnea. Diagnosis is based on sleep habits and an examination to look for underlying causes. A sleep study may be done to look for underlying sleep disorders. Number 5. 10 minutes is key to falling asleep. It's normal to fall asleep between 10 to 20 minutes after going to bed. If it takes you less than 5 minutes to fall asleep, you are probably exhausted and sleep deprived. Practice good sleep hygiene to help your body fall asleep fast every night so it can get those much needed Z's. That means setting a sleep schedule, putting phones and other bright technology away 30 minutes before bedtime, and more. If you spend quite a bit longer than 20 minutes trying to fall asleep on a regular basis, consider trying a sleep supplement with melatonin that works naturally with your body to help you fall asleep with no next day grogginess. Number 4. Humans spend 1/3 of their life sleeping. Considering that we spend 1/3 of our time doing it, sleep is something of an evolutionary paradox. We need sleep to survive, and yet not only does it seem like a waste of time, it may also have left our early ancestors vulnerable to predators. Whatever the function of sleep, couldn't we just do it whilst awake? After all, some animals, like dolphins and whales, achieve unihemispheric sleep, switching off just one side of the brain while the other stays alert. And horses take short naps during the day without needing to lie down. Several studies suggest that sleep helps us remember because the brain circuits involved in learning are reactivated while we slumber. Some of the most compelling evidence comes from experiments in which cues associated with the learning process are presented to sleeping subjects. The connection between memory and sleep is also implicated in the idea that one role of sleep is to clear unwanted toxins from the brain. Most waste products are cleared from the body by the lymphatic system, but lymph is blocked from the brain by the blood-brain barrier. This obviously differs depending on the age of the human, but on average it's around 1/3, which is quite a lot when you think about it. Number 3. It's thought that up to 15% of the population are sleepwalkers. In normal conversation, the term sleepwalking may be used casually and figuratively as a way of describing a lack of energy or focus. But for a number of children and adults, sleepwalking is a real condition that can have considerable consequences. Sleepwalking, formerly known as somnambulism, is a behavior disorder that originates during deep sleep and results in walking or performing other complex behaviors while still mostly asleep. It is more common in children than adults and is more likely to occur if a person has a family history of the condition, is sleep deprived, or is prone to repeated nighttime awakenings. Accidents during these episodes can cause injuries, and sleepwalking is associated with worse sleep and daytime drowsiness. Active treatment may not be necessary for many people, but when episodes are more frequent or intense, several treatment options may be beneficial. Number 2. Sleep is different for men and women. According to the National Sleep Foundation, male and female circadian rhythms are slightly different. On average, men have a longer circadian rhythm by 6 minutes, meaning they feel less tired in the evening. Women are more likely to have a shorter cycle, meaning they are more prone to waking up earlier. Sex-based factors relate to underlying biologies including hormone production, sleep cycles, and circadian rhythm. Gender-based factors are connected to social and cultural disparities. These factors may be overlapping and multifaceted, creating a complex set of circumstances that affect individual men and women in unique ways. Because they reflect broad social and cultural patterns and norms, gender-based factors may start at an earlier age. Like sex-based factors, they can change over time, exerting dynamic influences on sleep. One reason why women and men don't sleep the same is that there are differences in their sleep cycles. Women and men have variations in sleep architecture. Women accumulate more time in deep sleep and spend less time in stage 1, which is the lightest sleep. Some evidence indicates that this divergence typically begins between the ages of 30 and 40. Number 1. Some of us dream in black and white. Nowadays, studies show that roughly 12% of people dream in black and white. Whilst this may seem surprising, before the introduction of color television, this was closer to 75%. Why do some of us dream in color, while others are strictly black and white? Well, it's possible it's just a question of memory. We remember our dream as black and white because of the vivid details from the night before fade throughout the day. Some suggest that dreaming in black and white is down to creativity. The more creative you are, the more vivid the colors and crazy adventures you have while asleep. A recent study, however, offers an alternative hypothesis. People who had access to black and white media before color media experienced more grayscale dreams than people with no such exposure. In our list of top 10 this time, we discuss about 10 interesting facts about sleep. As we already know, sleep is very good for our health, therefore adequate sleep will help maintain our stamina and daily activities.